And here we go. Let's handle this next question with all the grace that we have. So the question sentence reads, how many square feet of area does one tile cover? Everybody, even if we didn't see area given to us, the phrase square feet gives it away. Square units, square feet, square inches, square yards, square miles, square meters. This means area. But thankfully, they tell us explicitly area right there. But nonetheless, everyone, we are calculating area. Now, can anybody tell me what shape we're calculating the area of? Yeah, we're calculating the area of a square. A square tile is what we're given. So we are calculating the area of a square. Boom, right there. And the area of a square is going to be its side multiplied by itself. All right. So when we think about this, for those of us that want to go straight in and say, yeah, we're going to throw in the 18 times 18. And when I did that, I ended up getting 324. If that's what happened to you, unfortunately, that's incorrect. The reason is, everybody, what are the units of these 18s? What are the units of these 18s? Yeah, the units are inches. So if we take a look here and we write this as 18 inches times 18 inches, when you do the math, that's going to give you 324 square inches. Look at that. Calculated. Okay, cool. But the problem, everyone, the problem is that we wanted what? We wanted square feet. Is that square feet? Absolutely not. That is not square feet. So that's why we have to reconsider, everybody. So before I reconsider this, before I do the problem from the beginning again, do we understand why simply multiplying 18 by 18 didn't work? Good. Because remember, one of the best ways to get it right is to know every way that it can be done wrong. And right here, I think we can agree that this clearly says square feet and this clearly says square inches. That's why this is the wrong answer. It's the correct area, sure. It is the area, that is correct. But it's not in the way that we were told to present it. So with that said, we are going to get rid of the 18s from right there. Boom, goodbye. And first, what we must do, the first thing we need to do is turn 18 inches into feet. That's what we need to do. So everyone, help me out. 18 inches, how many feet can fit in just 18 inches? Yeah, we can fit a whole foot in there. Because remember, everybody, 18 inches, is 12 inches along with 6 remaining inches. Everyone, think about it like this. If we have 12 inches, that's going to be 1 foot for sure. But when we think about 6 inches, how much of a foot is that? Is that a quarter? Is that half? Is that 3/4? How much is 6 inches? Half. Exactly. So everyone, is it fair to say, to you especially, is it fair to say that 1 foot 6 inches can be written as 1.5 feet? Is that fair to say? Yeah, absolutely fair to say, right? Cool. So pay attention. I now know the right way to do this problem. I now know that I'm not supposed to be multiplying 18 times 18. I'm supposed to be multiplying 1.5 feet times 1.5 feet. This is what's going to give me my answer in square feet. So all that's left for us to do is to figure out what 1.5 times 1.5 is. Also, shout out to the another trick answer. C, it is not the correct answer because we have to multiply first. So here, 1.5 times 1.5, here we go. 5 times 5 is 25. Carry the 2. 1 times 5 is 5. Carry the 2 is 7. Place a 0, and we're going to do the same thing here. We have 5 times 1, so that's going to be 5. 1 times 1, and that's going to be 1. Add this up, and we end up getting 5 right there. 12 over here, carry the 1, and then 2. We have 2 decimal places, 1, 2. So we'll bring back 1, 2. And there we are. The final answer is 2.25 square feet. And that is going to be answer choice B. And there we go, my party people. So for those of you that knew that, yeah, area, side times side, that's what we have to do. That's part 1 done correctly, absolutely. But the problem was that you have to understand what you're looking for, square feet. If we would have stuck with the 18 inches, that was square inches. So here the problem is square feet. If this was written as square inches, yeah, that would have been correct. But that was the trick. And not really more so a trick, but a challenge or an exercise in paying attention to the information. So there we go again. The answer choice, the correct one is B. And as always, I hope you enjoyed that problem. All right, so next problem up, and we'll begin by reading that question sentence first. So it says here, if there are 54 type C machines, how many type A machines are there? So again, be very careful. What we want to do is understand what we want and understand the information we're given to work with. So right here, it says we want the number of type A machines with 54 type Cs. Writing that down, blank type A, and then we have 54 type C. All right, so this makes life a lot easier for us because when we are going through and paying attention to the information we have, we see that we have a comparison. We're comparing type A to type C, and if we see another comparison between types A and C again, that means we have a proportion. And here is where we see that. A factory has machines of type A, B, and C in a ratio of 8 to 5 to 6. Now remember, everybody, to make a proper proportion, you need 2 comparisons between the same 2 things. In this case, A and C is the comparison that we want. Because of that, everybody, which of these numbers are we going to exclude or not include? Which of these numbers are we going to not care about? The 5, exactly. When we take a look at this, we have type A, B, and C. So B is in the middle. 8, 5, and 6. 5 was in the middle. We don't care about type B here. I only care about A and C. And we have 8 and 6. 8 type A compared with 6 type C. And this tells me all the way that we have a proportion. Comparing the same things, A to C, in the same way, A to C. Let's go ahead and just use a capital A for type A. We have A over 54 equals 8 over 6. Again, plenty of ways we can set this up and do it, but what we can happily do here is we can look at our comparisons. We can compare 6 to 54, which is a times 9 relationship. 6 times 9 gives us 54. And if we compare the same things in the same way, like we're supposed to, 8 times 9, my party people, what is that going to give us? 72. And that's why A equals 72 ends up being the correct answer straight away. We can absolutely cross multiply and divide, but what you might find is that, well, 6 times A is 6A, 8 times 54, that's going to be 432. And then you have 432 divided by 6, which would be 70 plus whatever, 70 plus 2, and that's 72. So that was just with mental math, but it's really more so, my party people, about your ability to set the problem up. So with that said, everybody, hope you had a good one, and I'll see you in the next one.